Hi there. Welcome to the next part of my favorite albums of the 80s. Took some time, but it's finally here, and I don't know how often or how quick I'm going to be with these updates, but we'll see. Anyway, I got about 7 records, I guess. I don't honestly know, but I'm gonna talk about them and show them to you guys. First up, the Butthole Surfers with Locust Abortion Technician. This is one of the most far out punk records, or I don't know what you can call it, just noise records that I heard. If you're into just plain weird music, you know, check it out. Definitely check it out. It's on the Touch and Go label, which is an amazing label. And the baby on the back, I love it. So surprised. The Butthole Surfers at this period in time were groundbreaking, I believe. Their later period is still okay, but this is their groundbreaking period. They didn't care about the rules of music and just did whatever the hell they wanted to, either with or without the aid of mind-altering chemicals. Still, you know, just an amazing album, and worth picking up if you're into just plain odd music. There's a couple of bands that I love, but that have released a lot of albums, but their best is mostly their best of. I'm not making any sense here, am I? I'm trying to say that there's a couple of bands that I really love their albums of, but they released a best of album that's just outshines their work. The Buzzcocks did it. That might be a good contender for best of the 70s, but we'll see. But also, these guys did. This is the singles 1981 to 1985 by Depeche Mode. It's got all the hits from that period, which I still believe is their best period. It's also got a couple of songs that never were hits, but you know, are really worth it, like Blasphemous Rumors. Don't listen to that if you are religious, because it's basically not really nice towards religion. This is just an amazing, amazing compilation album that needs to be part of anyone's record collection. If you kind of like Depeche Mode, pick this up. It will make you a fan, sort of a fan. One of the greatest compilation albums by a band that I know. There's complete information on the 7 inches that that they used, that are on here, and some information on the chart position that that particular song reached. It's really interesting, and it's just a great album. Once again, you know, pick it up if you are even slightly into Depeche Mode. Another new wave artist that I really like is Gary Numan. I had a hard choice, either picking this one or I think it's called Replicant. I picked this one not just because it's on green vinyl, which I love, but because it's got this wreckage, Yeah Crash Bureau, Remind Me to Smile, Remember I Was Vapor. This is Gary Numan at the top of his game. Right after the success of his song Cars, he came out with this, and it's just an amazing, amazing album. After this, he just kind of lost it. He didn't know how to create really good songs. I mean, there were decent songs, but not like this or the work before. That's just great. So yeah, pick it up if you're into 80s pop, new wave. Playing in the background, this is the equivalent of the Faust tapes, an 80s version of the Faust tapes. We're talking Spiral Insana, or Insana, by Nurse with Wound. It is just all over the place. Scary, original, it's just clunky at times, and it's just amazing avant-garde music of the 80s. There's actually a lot of songs. There's 18 songs on here, but they're not like songs. As you can hear in the background, they're mood pieces mostly, just jumping from one mood piece next to the next via just skips and jumps and whatever. The front cover reminded me a lot of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and with this music, you kind of get that whole dark. That's the little jump I'm talking about. You get the dark feeling that this music gives you. It's really good, but it's also music that is not for everyone. I am sure Derek knows this album. He might even have it. I don't know, but it's worth it. This is the version, by the way, on the Dutch label called Torso. I don't know if that's the original label, but this is one of the first records I bought when I started collecting records, and I didn't even know the music on it sounded like this. But straight away I was hooked. This is just amazing. It's not music as music, it's just there. It's an entity. My favorite Susina Banshees album, You. It's got Spellbound, Monitor, Into the Light, Voodoo Dolly, Head Cut. Really great, solid goth rock album of the early 80s. I have a version on, I believe, the American label, I think, PTC. I'm not too sure. Anyway, I just had to throw in a Susina Banshees album, and to me this is their best. I love the artwork as well, and I mean Suji, she is a goddess of new wave music, so yeah, can't say too much about this music, about this album, besides check it out if you haven't already checked it out. My favorite album of Jesus and Mary Chain. This is when Bobby Gillespie, who later joined Primal Scream, was still in it. He plays drums. It's, I don't know how I should describe it. It's sort of a shoegazy feel to it, but it's a lot rougher and more rocking at times. The album starts off with Just Like Honey, which is an amazing song. And it just continues to have that intensity, that beauty that later albums at moments had, but didn't completely have. This is called Psycho Candy, and yeah, this is one of the greatest bands where two brothers were, joined and created an album that is just amazing. There's a whole bunch of brothers in bands. You have the Kings, you have Oasis. This might be my favorite of the two brothers starting a band and then creating, beautiful music. This is the last album I'm going to show you, the Tom Tom Club. Wow. Their first album, and they know how to make music. They totally created something out of a lot of different genres and made it their own. There's rap on it, there's world music on it, there's punk on it, there's disco on it, there's a lot of stuff on it. They put it in a blender, made it their own, and I don't know how big they were back in the 80s, but I'm sure this particular album, which is simply called the Tom Tom Club, has become a cult album. Wordy Rapping Hood, Genius of Love, Lorelei, on, and that's just like 8 tracks on it, and I'm already mentioned like 4. And the rest is also just amazing. For those who don't know, this is 2 members, Tina Weymouth and Chris Frantz of, I think it's Chris Frantz, is it? Yeah, it is. Who were at the time also part of the Talking Heads. So this is not like the Talking Heads, but it doesn't really stray too far away from what the Talking Heads were doing at the time. Really, really awesome album, and check it out. Check all these albums out if you're interested, and stay cool. There'll be another update soon, hopefully, but otherwise, I will continue with the series, and I hope you guys have the patience, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Leave some comments, and let me know what you think. Bye-bye.